su ma déggee naa la réeree ci ma boppam. di baax a bi yow wax nga de xamuloo fu mu dëkk xamuloo nu mu tudd.
waaye bu ma nee rek a waay Amina jonkoon nga suñ kaw yow Amina lii lan la. dinaa la wax benn baat ngeen déglu ko bu baax a baax a baax a baax a baax fii ku fi ñëw rek nga xam ne sa yoon set na.
kii yàlla moo ko wàcce indi ko si ñun pour mu dimbale ñu. laaj ma nag mooy kan nga mun a xam. waa kii kan la suñu président la Alhaji Yaya Jammeh.
Aisha.
Nii rek la mun a mel ba bu gis añ ba bu gis takk.
I'm smoking drugs for the past 30 to 35 years now. And before I used to carry it abroad, you know, and then since from that time I came back to Ghana.
How old are you now?
I'm now 56 years old.
What kind of drugs have you used to carry?
Okay, before I carried cannabis. Yes, cannabis.
What drugs do you use?
I use heroin and then cocaine.
Because I don't work, I have to be hustling, I have to go here, look for money here and there. If you get any money at all you get, you come to it. You have to use it to smoke. It's not helping the society, it's not helping the community, it's not helping the nation as a whole.
Why can't you stop?
It's not easy. When you fall inside, to stop, it's not easy. It's not as you are saying it, I'm going to stop. No. Because of the symptoms, the withdrawal symptoms, those are the things that will prevent you from stopping.
So when you don't have money, what do you do?
I have to do anything possible to get money.
I was a very good boy. I grew up in a nice family. My mother is a teacher and my father is one man straight. I started to use drugs I have like 15 years ago, but I started with marijuana. And a couple years ago after I started to use cocaine, but all the time I work and I do my day always with my family. I have 2 kids. And I used to have my wife. Right now I don't have wife. I'm separate because after I started to use the cocaine, my situation was so complicated. I didn't do what I supposed to do with my family, give the money at home for everything, for the food, for that kind of things. And I lost my job. I used to have a good job.
I think that I use drugs basically to be able to take care of some of these things such as fear, low self-esteem, and all of that, you know. So when I first smoked heroin, for example, which doesn't have any peculiar scent, I thought that I had something that would take care of, you know, my shyness problem, you know. So I sort of fell in love with it, you know. I was so much in love with drugs that I never cheated on it.
In much of West Africa, this will be considered as washing your dirty linen in public, and the West African society typically frowns at that. But these are unusual times in West Africa. The West African society is experiencing a meltdown of sorts. The fabric of society is being eroded by the increasing consumption of illicit drugs. It is a problem the international community has been contending with for decades. Now West Africa must deal with it. Not too long ago, the region was largely regarded as a transit route for illicit drugs, but that now belongs in the past. Tons of illicit drugs still pass through West Africa, but some of them certainly stay behind.
Heroin, cocaine, ganja, they are all drugs. We have other drugs too are there, like these amphetamines.
Marijuana has long been abused in the region where it is grown locally, but demand for it has become so high that farmers are reported to be abandoning the cultivation of food crops for the more prosperous cultivation of marijuana. The United Nations Office on Drug and Crime, UNODC, report suggests that West Africans have become the heaviest users of marijuana in the world. The use of alcohol is not illicit in much of West Africa, so it is not often recognized as an abusive substance. In reality, alcohol features quite high on the list of substances seriously abused with severe consequences for addicts, their families, and the larger society. It has reached such a dangerous high that no country is in denial, even for national pride. At a conference in Accra on the subject of illicit drugs in the region, each ECOWAS member state had a story to tell. Their story underlies the enormity of what is now being called the drug scourge in West Africa.
There's something going wrong in Ghana where younger girls are getting more into drugs than the boys. Now there's another problem we are having in this country. That is, initially, when these drug menace started occurring in Ghana in the 80s, the drugs that usually we start using when you are getting into drugs include alcohol, nicotine, and marijuana. Unfortunately, the gateway drugs are changing in Ghana, where we have students who go in straight for cocaine and heroin without starting from marijuana, nicotine, and alcohol, as it used to be. And unfortunately, too, those of our brothers and sisters who are in the area of treatment are also getting involved in the drugs. And it is known that some security people also use the drugs with the convicts, and the health professionals are also using drugs with their clients.
Nigeria used to be a transit country, but of recent it's graduating to a consumer nation. I'm talking to the people, okay? Common drugs are abused in Nigeria are alcohol, that have different names. We have tobacco, very high, as reported by a number of researchers, have sedatives and antidepressants, amphetamine-type drugs, heroin, cocaine, cannabis. And of course, the growing problem we have in Nigeria is the unconventional drugs. Drugs that are not controlled by any international law, treaty as it were, but that are available, like petrol, like glue, and so many other things. They are being used at a high level, and there's nothing government could do about it to do counseling, a kind of campaign, as it were.
The most common drug abuse is marijuana, cannabis. And how is it being used? It can be inhaled by smoke. It can be produced in pepper soup. Sometimes people have parties in Liberia, and they prepare pepper soup with marijuana. I remember a kid who went to a graduation party. He drank a pepper soup, and he slept for 2 days. They also prepare cannabis with milk candy. Milk candy, they sell it around the school facility, and the kids will go there and buy it. And also they have what they call the Chinese tea, Atai. You go to the Atai shop, they got several kinds of Atai. They got 7 classes, so you must know what class to buy. If you buy the wrong class, well, you might get high.
The effect has been profound. A substantial but largely underestimated segment of the West African population are now dealing with the social, economic, and health implications of drug addiction.
My experience in the drug is a long-time experience, and it has devastated my life, and I'm sure all the guys that smoke too are facing the same problem.
One of the major issues related to this increased use of cocaine, especially crack, which is not so much expensive than people are thinking, is the links between those drugs and HIV and AIDS. Either because people will refer to injecting drug use, as it is the case